Hola familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So as you guys can see from the title, today we are doing another duping of new makeup releases. This is a series where I share with you guys a few products that have recently been released on the market, and I am sharing with you guys how redundant and how repetitive the market can be. You probably already own some of these things, but I always mention if you do want to go ahead and purchase any of these things, it's your money, your space, you do what you want to do. I'm just sharing with you guys the palettes that I'm going to skip out on because I have found dupes in my collection and I don't necessarily need to go out and run out and buy these products. If that is something that interests you, stay tuned. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash of Project Pan. If that is something that interests you, subscribe, join us. And now without further ado, let's get on with the duping. As always, I will be putting the intro to the series up in the iCard so you can understand the concept behind it, what I mean by duping, so on and so forth. I have 5 posts today. One of them has 3 palettes in it, and they're all eyeshadow palettes that you guys know. That is my fascination. That is what I own the most of, and that is what I can genuinely and honestly say whether I have a dupe or do not have a dupe of, because I have tried so many formulas and brands out in the market. So that's what we're gonna do. As you guys can see today, I have no lashes on. It is allergy season, so normally there's about a week and a half to 2 weeks of a span where I don't either wear makeup or I don't wear lashes because my eyes are super itchy, watery, and my nose is running. Today is actually a good day, even though outside it's not a good day, but I'm having a good day, so we're gonna take advantage of it and roll with it, shall we? All right, you guys, I will post photos of all the products that I will be sharing with you guys today. We are starting off with the first one. This one's actually beautiful, but I really don't need this. This is a new release from Linda Hallberg. I think I'm saying her name correctly. I hope I'm saying her name right. This is her color palette. It is stunning. It is beautiful. It's a 12 pan palette. It is nice and small. You get a mirror with it. I don't know the cost of it. It is already launched by the time you see this video, and I think it is beautiful. I think her quality is stunning considering she is a makeup artist, and I've been following her for a very long time. Even before I started my YouTube channel, I was following her blog, and I've always been inspired by her looks. She's one of my favorite ones that really does know how to work with color and neutrals and make you really pop. So I was tempted by this, but then I remembered I had something that looked extremely similar to this. I spent quite a bit of a penny on this, and the quality of this one is amazing, so I don't need to go run out and get that. And for me, that is my Viseart editorial palette. It looks identical, almost identical to that palette. The only difference is that in here you're getting more color, and in hers you're getting last row of neutrals to tie everything together. But I think this is great. Now, didn't pay the full $80 for this. I've always gotten my Viseart palette at a discounted price. I've only paid full price for one, and my very first one, and then that was it. But look, this is stunning. I've done looks with this palette, and it looks like I barely touched it, you guys. There is so much pigmentation, and the quality of Viseart mattes, I'm talking about their mattes, are to die for. They blend like a dream. They make you look like an expert. You don't have to do too much with any of this. It's just beautiful. The quality of this is amazing. So why do I need to go run out and get that when I have this? This one works perfectly fine. I love the color story. I love that I can incorporate this. And I feel like, honestly, any brand that comes out now with a colorful eyeshadow palette, I think they're late to the game. Colorful eyeshadow palettes have been released left and right for the past year and a half. We've wanted them. Indie brands have heard us. They have released so many in so many different forms. Shimmery kind, the rainbow kind, the monochromatic kind. I mean, like, you can get it anywhere now. That anybody releasing a colorful eyeshadow palette, you gotta have something special for it, like with it, that makes you want to buy it. Because I have so many, I don't need any more. And this one, out of all of my colorful eyeshadow palettes, is the best quality I own, because the mattes are ridiculously good in Viseart. So I'm not getting that. And if you own a rainbow palette, you really don't need another one. It's a rainbow palette. How much more variation can you get out of the RGB? What is it? The BIV RGB? I think my kid just learned it. I forgot what it goes, but yeah, I'm not gonna get that. Up next, all right, you guys, we have, and this is already available. I've seen people do looks with it. It kind of looks like what I'm wearing on my eyeballs, which is another dupe, surprisingly, which I did not think about. But this is the New Milk Cosmetics Mary Jane collection. Now, okay, you guys, some of you may not even think about this, but I am exhausted of constantly seeing this brand always releasing something for 420. We're over it. We're over it. Please just retire Mary Jane, retire Molly, retire the 5-leaf clover, whatever you want to call it. Just retire it already. Like, come on. Do we need to see how many variations of it is? I don't care. I haven't bought any of them because I don't care for it. And it just makes me not want to try it even more. Now, this one is very gray, beigey, rose goldy maybe it has in there. It's just a neutral with a bunch of grays. And it's very similar to what I'm wearing on my eyes, which was unintentional. But the eyeshadow palette that I would prefer if I were getting, because you know I don't like grays. It's funny how I'm saying all this and I'm wearing gray on my eyes, but it's for a specific reason I'm wearing the gray on my eyes. I don't, gray is my least favorite color. If I were to pick anything on my eyes, anything as far as clothing, anything as far as the last thing that I want to pick. Mr. Man actually wanted to paint our house gray and I told him absolutely not. Gray I already have inside my house. It's a neutral shade and I like it for decor, but not necessarily on my clothing or on my eyes. And this one just reminds me of this palette, the Sultry palette. This just reminds me of it. It has the beigey in here. It has the neutrals in here, it has the browns, and it has I only want one gray. This has one gray, and then it has some, like this one might have a little bit of gray in there, but it's not necessarily all gray. It has a little bit of rose gold in it, and the Mary Jane just reminds me of this one. The only difference is if you take away this right here, you kind of get it. It's right there. It's what they're selling you. And I like the quality of this. I believe this is back. I think it's back. At least if you missed it, I know they released it again. But the quality of this one's gorgeous. I've always liked this palette. If I'm going to stick with a bunch of grays or gray undertones, this is what I would go for. Not that palette necessarily at all. Like I don't see myself reaching for this at all. And if I were, I would probably skip out on all the grays. And there's a lot of them that have gray undertones to them. So I'm going to stick with this one. And not to mention that I'm so tired of the 420. Oh, just be done with it. Bury it already. Bury it. Let's move on to the next release. This is the new Too Faced Teddy Bear, I believe it's called. Let me make sure. Too Faced Summer 2021 Teddy Bear Palette. Now this one is pretty, and I know a few of my friends have actually purchased this or want to purchase this, and I can see why. It's a neutral palette, but it has a little bit of pinky, rosy, mauve type of formula to it. But we already have these so much. Like Too Faced, they're known for this, and I think that the fact that it's smaller, it's a teddy bear, is what's catching people's attention. But you got this. You already have this one. And a palette that I was supposed to use this past weekend in a tutorial therapy session, which my allergies just beat the crap out of me. I couldn't do it. But this is a palette that made me remember about this one. This is my dupe for it. This is my palette that I remember. It's the same thing. You're getting your neutrals with the mauve tones and the pinky tones and the browns that have a little bit of pink to them. This is my palette right here. Why do I need this one? If I've only used this one maybe once in my lifetime, why would I buy a palette that looks exactly the same as that one if I barely touch this one? And not to mention, this one's actually not bad quality compared to the very first LA Girl that I've purchased and reviewed. This one I like a lot more, believe it or not. So I'm going to skip out on the teddy bear one because I have this one, and I am sure I have quite a bit more that are like this. Why would I go ahead and keep getting more of the same one? Specifically of the color stories that really are redundant. Like there's certain ones I don't mind repeating, but like this, nope, I already have enough of these. So I will be skipping out on the teddy bear one. I think it's cute, maybe as a gift, Mother's Day gift, but honestly, we have seen this from Too Faced plenty of times. All right, the fourth post that I will be sharing with you guys is actually a brand that released 3 different palettes, and I'm duping all 3 of these palettes. These are the Huda Beauty Brown Obsessions palettes. Okay. I'm going to make it clear that the only Huda palettes that I have like this are the first release that she had, which was the Amethyst, Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire, which was the blue, red, purple, and the green palette. I actually own the Smoky and the Mauves and the Warm Obsessions. So I own 7 of the, I don't know, 10 that she released the very, very first round. I did a whole review. I did looks with all of the palettes, so I have them all on my channel. After that, I got bored. I haven't purchased anything since. I get that her style is this small 9-pan palette, but do we need any more browns? Like these, I looked at them and without even having to go through my drawers, I already have picked out palettes for them to dupe. So I'm going to dupe all 3 of these palettes, you guys. If you love her formula, I enjoy her formula, but do I really need to buy every single release? No, I don't, especially if it's a bunch of browns. At this point, I think I have almost the same, or if not a little bit more neutral palettes than I do colorful, but I have a lot and I don't need these. I could see myself reaching for maybe 1 or 2 times each of them, and that's the end of that. So let's start out with the first one. Now, I don't know the names of these, so let me see if I can kind of understand it. There's caramel, toffee, and chocolate. I don't know which one's which, but I'm gonna assume. I think, well, the first one, I'm just gonna point and like circle the one I'm talking about. The one in the yellow packaging. The one in the yellow packaging seems to have browns with maybe yellow infused in them. This palette right here does it for me. And I actually like this color story a lot more. You're getting the browns with the yellow infused in them. And I'm sure you have quite a bit of palettes that have a few yellow undertone browns that could work for this. This is the Too Faced Honey palette, right? Too Faced Peanut Butter and Honey palette. It's right here. I don't need it. I don't need that one. And this one is small. So it's just like that one. I'm good. This one quenches my thirst. I'm good to go. The next one that she has is something that's very sultry, very deep, very brown, which I think would look amazing on dark skin. And if you have had trouble finding neutrals that are really going to show up, this one I really do think it's worth it for you if you're looking for that, because I think that this one will be amazing. I'm assuming this one's the chocolate one. And I have 2 dupes for this actually. If you own the Too Faced Semi-Sweet, I feel like the deeper browns and those lighter shades are right here. Like you're getting that. This is a very deep brown. This is a very deep brown. This one's super deep chocolatey brown. So if you have this one, you're getting that same vibe. Now, if you want a smaller palette, I have another option for you. This one's the Chocolate by Juvia's. Right here, you guys, and you can get this one for $7. And the quality is actually pretty good on these. This one has no glitter to it, and you're getting the lighter shades, the in-between shades, and these deep chocolate ones. Oh my goodness, you don't need this Huda one. I'm giving you 2 for this deeper, darker one. So if you're looking for that specific one, I gave you 2 dupes of that one. Now the last one would be the one that I would go for, the one with the orange in it. I'm assuming this one is probably the caramel one or the caramel one. And I love a deep chocolate brown with orange, the sultriness, the red undertones, the orange undertones to it. But I have a palette that really gives me all of that, and I love it. That's the Tartlet Toasted. Look at this. That gives me that. I'm getting the orange, I'm getting the browns, I'm getting the shimmers. It's right here. I don't need that one. And this one I really do love in the summer. I don't pull it out as often, but I do get use out of this. I've done looks with this palette. I've done very sultry looks. I've done very neutral looks. Like this one is beautiful. If you own this one, you don't need it. Even the packaging is beautiful. So I'm not going to get any of these Huda ones. They were tempting, especially the one with the orange shadow in it, but I already have them. I have them, and I know I have dupes of the dupes of the dupes in my collection. All right, the last one, I saved it for last because I don't ever say this, but I am quoting Miss Angelica on this one because seriously, who asked for this? Quién? Please raise your hand in the back. Don't be shy. Be proud if you did ask for this, because I really want to know. What board meeting, what Zoom meeting did NYX have that said, you know what? I think people are asking for a very, very large palette with a bunch of colors to it, with no rhyme or reason, with no type of cohesiveness, with really no direction. Just throw a bunch of shades together in a cardboard container and let's give it a go. Whose idea was this? Because my goodness gracious, I want to know how to get this job, because I think I could do a better job on this one. I don't even have a dupe for this because I don't feel like you need a dupe for this, you guys. This is something that should not even, no, unless you don't own any eyeshadows and you love the quality of NYX and you can guarantee yourself that the quality is going to be great, then I would say, all right, get this palette. But seriously, no, this is the NYX Tetris palette. I believe it's a Tetris palette. Let me double check. Back to the 80s collab Tetris. This is a jumbo palette for $45. It has 80 shades. I want to be that fly on the wall when they came up with this concept. I really, really wish I was a fly on the wall, because what? You guys, I have plenty of larger palettes that I think are so much better than this. I would actually recommend the Jaclyn Hill palette, the 36 pan one, over this one, because I feel like you'll probably enjoy that one a lot more than this one. That one at least has a cohesive type of color story. You could get more use out of it. You do have color, but not too much. And the quality of that one is decent. This one, I can't guarantee that all 80 shades are not going to be duds. I can't guarantee that you're going to enjoy all 80. I can't guarantee that you're going to use all 80. And I'm sure that there are repeat shadows in here. There's no way that there isn't shadows that look very similar on the eye that you can eliminate some shadows. Why? I really want to know if you bought this palette. I'm not judging you. I'm not going to say anything. I really want to know who this was for, because I can't see anybody really wanting this. And I could be wrong, because, I'm only in this small little bubble. So I don't know. I don't know everyone in the world, but really? 80 shadows? $45? Save your $45 and get a Violet Voss palette. Or there's so many other ones. Get a Too Faced, the smaller Too Faced one. Like, wow. I just can't. All right, you guys, that's it. I will link everything down in the description box. Let me know if any of these have interested you, whether you are going to purchase them, did purchase them. I know some of these you might want to. I know a lot of people like Mel Cosmetics. I personally they still haven't gotten me. They still haven't given me something that's going to sell me on it, because I don't know what it is. I just can't get on board. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will link everything down in the description box. More videos for you over here. Until then, adios.